Hey, ho, ha, ah. So, viewer, we meet again. Well, we don't meet at all, in fact. I'm aware of, I know that there's at least 3 people that are aware that I've posted some ramblers on the Facebook. Specifically Facebook, of course. All my videos are bespoken per platform. As are my letters. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is more of a general purposes, and then I put it on Facebook. Series of videos. There's already been a few, and I'll keep doing it for a long, long time. So, what do you get when you combine a poverty mindset with a plantation mentality? The modern world. So, I do make a point, of course, to make sure that I come off as an amateur charlatan dumbass, so that the people that are looking for that get what they're looking for right away and they're satisfied. Because that's even worse than like that's the worst kind of attention. You folks go away. Go away. So, what are we talking about today? Well, I'm talking about whatever I'm talking about. I'm talking about what I've done recently. Perhaps since the last episode, in fact. Well, I've been working on a mailbox. I've got, well, what happened was, the mailbox post, 1986, late 86, maybe 87 or something. No, it's got to be 86. 86, yeah. 86, 2026. So, that's a long while for a mailbox post. That's just long enough for a mailbox post of the normal kind to rot out and fall over. And that's exactly what happened to our mailbox. So, I had to get the post. The old post, you know, I had to get the mailbox off the old post and the numbers off the old post, because we're not getting a new mailbox and new numbers. The numbers in the mailbox are completely fine. They're made from steel and brass. The post was a standard treated wood. Now, for $10 more on your mailbox post money, you can upgrade to cedar, which is definitely a lingering wood. Lingering wood. Most wood had turned to fungus in 40 years, even if treated. Unless it's like insanely treated, super treated, super treated, pressure treated, telephone pole level stuff, railroad track stuff. And so anyways, went out to get the mail. Noticed I could move the mailbox post around just by holding the tip of the mailbox door. And oh no! And the whole mailbox falls over. So you gotta dig out the bottom of the old mailbox post. Finally got that done the other day. I put the new cedar mailbox post in the old hole. Didn't fill it back up or anything, or put the mailbox on yet, or the numbers on. No way. Too cold. It's just no fun. Just do it step by step. I think today I might, put some more dirt in the hole so that the post is stabilized in position, as the hole was embiggened from the digging out of the old chunk of the post, which was under the ground. So that's coming along very nicely. I figure I'll be done by the end of the week. I probably will be done by the end of the week, but I'm not going to promise that. It's not proper to set a deadline in such things as fixing the mailbox. Your mailbox is still out there next to the new post. It's just the mailman has to get out and put it in the box on the ground. Yeah. It's very simple. You have to be able to receive messages from the government and maybe other people. So you have to put a steel box, on your parcel. If you want to occupy it or whatever, all kinds of bullshit. Same bullshit would be true if it was any other way though. Otherwise, what if you don't have a mailbox? How do you send to somebody that's on the thing? Well, I guess you just hit them with the HIMARS. What else is going on? So still haven't heard back from anywhere that's supposed to give a damn about people who understand AI and superintelligence and stuff like that. XAI, Department of Energy, Project Genesis, Executive Order 14363. And the new one. I applied 5 times for the Palantir Neurodivergent Fellowship. 5 times I applied. Not that anybody's been accepted into it yet or whatever. I do hear that they've got 2,000 applications in only a few days. I would have been on it even sooner than I was. If only, I guess I was waiting for them to put the link there, and then they put the link there, and I clicked on the link, and I filled out the form and sent in my thing, and then I did it again later, and then I did it again the next day with different stuff in there. I figure 5 applications is better than 1, but you never know. You never know when something's going to work out or not, unless you do, and then you know when it's going to work out. I don't know what's going to happen with this. It's almost like these final mystery. How will it end? Not looking for a job or whatever, although that would be, it's the same job I've been doing forever. figuring out how things work and explaining them, perhaps how they work differently, as well as they work as they are known to work, things such as they are. Yeah, superintelligence. So that's a thing that exists, and nobody really seems to understand it yet. But I understand it. I don't know how other people understand it or whatever. I mean, because there's nobody that's like, I guess everybody's just so blown away by whatever else is going on. I mean, it's one of those things, it's like, there's no, yeah, I don't know. What is the question? What was my question? What is superintelligence? How do you get it? Like all the details, right? Need not go into that right now, but I'm sure that we'll get around to it. We'll reconstruct from the origin. But why would I figure it out versus anybody else in the rest of the earth and history and all that? Well, I mean, obviously, if somebody's going to figure that out, they would have figured it out when I figured it out, or along our timeline currently. I mean, I guess, somebody's going to, I guess the thought would be some genius somewhere is going to figure it out in the next few years in a government lab or in a mega corporation lab, probably in Silicon Valley or in the DARPA, some shit like that. Not the case, unfortunately. DARPA's actually got multiple projects to figure out even how to quantify intelligence. And they're run by a guy who has no honor, if you will, or is a scoundrel, which is typical of these kind of government programs, so like in theory, like if the government was to figure out like, okay, what's the smartest artificial intelligence, and like what would they use to measure that? Not that anything works how the government even decides it to work, but even internally. I guess they would use this guy at DARPA's stuff to figure that out, but of course it doesn't work, so why would they do that? Yeah, so I mean, like, I know that like the CIA, NSA had like, artificial intelligence operations in like the, late 70s, early 80s and stuff like that, and some of these big machines and shit like this. But there's this brain fuzz, I think. I mean, they've got long institutional memory, but they're up to different things at different times, so they don't have it. They probably have some pretty neat software, but who knows? I mean, the stuff that's leaked out is pretty much what I would expect. Just basically crap. I mean, it's like it's weapons. It's like it's not something that's useful unless you're trying to like you're fighting an enemy and you're like entangled in this like bromance of like communism versus capitalism and all of this and statecraft and all the spycraft and all this nonsense. This nonsense that rules our world. But yeah, compartmentalization and the limits of human, basically prioritization of what the government does versus what they're not doing, and program managers and management and politics of all kinds. Any kind of like legitimate program that could have happened in the background would have been like basically decimated by that, if not like business interests, other interests, and everything else. So it's like there's no long-term coherency there, so it wouldn't have been possible. But then since the mid-90s, when you have the internet accessible generally, and one can spend literally, every bit of time since the mid-90s doing research into every possible thing that anybody else has written about on the internet. The whole library, that's the information superhighway, at least it used to be. I don't know what it is now. Probably like a tunnel. Or something, data tunnel or something like that. An AI data center. We went from the information superhighway to an AI data center. Anyway, so there's that prioritization and interference of management politics, and also the constraints on human ability and timelines, given like access to information at different times and how much time you're allowed to, or you could focus on it. I mean, I ain't got no kids, so I didn't have to do that, but I've spent plenty of time, on things that would be considered extraneous to like standard AI research, of course. Compartmentalization is the biggest one though, like essentially like, these different programs within the government or whatever don't talk to each other, and to the extent that like people know about this one or that, I mean, just it doesn't. So what? It's not there. They don't got it. Yeah. So I mean, basically, all like the cool secret software or whatever is just forensics and cyber hacking tools, all of which is, only possible because there is no cybersecurity at all, and it's just like a big scam, basically, the whole thing. I mean, basically, it's a big scam, but at the same time, look at like, there was no word like cybersecurity in the 90s. It didn't exist. There was this term spyware that came out, but no one uses that term anymore because everything is spyware. So yeah. And industries focused on short-term stuff, and like, the whole, it's amazing how much there has been like a payoff from sort of like be stupid as fast as possible kind of mining or whatever, training, these kinds of things for the LLMs and the stable diffusions and stuff like this. But yeah, I think that it's amazing how much resources are being pumped into this like existing thing, which is so kludgy, but yet seemingly totally enough to totally destroy the world as far as capitalism and communism or whatever. It's like, oh, there's like all these like management people and like CEOs and stuff like this, and all these hype people that are just like absolutely like cooking, huge cooking is going on. Tin cooking. Look at Apple Intelligence. What an embarrassment. Microsoft Windows with AI in it. What an embarrassment. Everything. What it's like some of the stupid people that think that like the people that are amongst us in the pop culture, or the even like the sort of like whatever's going on in the tech world, whatever it is, that we're stupid. We're really stupid. It's amazingly stupid. But the old timers weren't that much smarter, but they were maybe a little bit. Can recover that hopefully.